I'm Tap for Mana, and welcome to the channel. Hi guys, Tap for Mana here. So today we're going to do just kind of like a little run through on one of my paper decks. I do have a Esper Control standard style right now of an Esper Control deck. I'm down the road I'm going to be changing this into the modern, but this is just to kind of show that, you know, Arena just isn't my only way of playing Magic. So I just want to do just kind of a quick run through of what I have. It's a lot different than the Arena deck, mainly because also as well, I haven't picked up a War of the Spark pack yet. This is about all I got for War of the Spark cards. A friend of mine came and gave me two booster packs, so not a lot of War of the Spark, but this is a decent, we'll say a decent Esper Control style deck. I'm just going to move my Teferi emblem. With some dual lands of Galactic Forest. Negate, I find Negate's very good, especially when you're playing paper. Negate is very, very well used. I do kind of take this down more to modern. I like taking my standard deck and playing modern with it. It's just more of a challenge. I'm just going to flip that. But just a quick run through, like as you guys can see, it is your basic standard Esper Control with Chemist's Insight in it, with just a little more draw power. I got a few promo cards here that my buddy is just, I don't know why, he just dumps off his promo cards, and well, I needed them in my Esper deck. I'm pretty sure, like, I got a Mortify in here. Let's take a look. Yeah, there's my fancy ass Mortify. My two Teferis, the only two cards. Sorry, actually, this Teferi, and I know specifically, this Teferi I pulled out of a Dominaria pack, the first pack I bought when I got back into Magic. I was playing for a little bit, gave up for a bit, and then just one hungover morning I stumbled into a card shop and decided I'm going to start playing, grabbed the Dominaria set, and there he was, boom, the first one. This guy, however, was bought probably about a month ago. It cost me a little bit, but I got them. Looking to pick up one more, especially when I start moving over and transferring this more into modern. There's another beautiful Mortify, but just kind of like your basic Esper Control main board. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to look at the sideboard, and I have been told it is a very unique sideboard that I run. Some people have said it's very janky, some people have said it's excellent, and these are the cards I would really like to run through you guys. So the first one is Emergency Powers. Emergency Powers, each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library, then draws 7 cards. Exile Emergency Powers. And then the addendum part is, if you cast a spell during your main phase, you may put a permanent card with converted mana cost 7 or less from your hand onto the battlefield. Why is this in your sideboard? It's pretty much a parachute option. My parachute, I'm falling out of the plane, I need a parachute. If I run out of cards, the guy gets rid of my Teferis, just graveyards them, hasn't exiled them. Mastermind's Acquisition, grab this, play it, hopefully it doesn't get countered, but play it, pretty much reset the game, get my Teferis back in hand. Unmourned Ego, why do I have this one? This one is pretty much for the mirror match to take care of my opponent's Teferis and other matches where I'm running into just a serious challenge. Unmourned Ego, if you don't know the card, says choose a card name, search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for up to 4 cards with that name and exile them. That player shuffles their library, then draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. That's also a key point, is they only draw from what you got out of their hand. So I've had many opponents make that mistake where they think they can just draw 4 cards. No, it's just from your hand. The Mirari Conjector. This saga is great just to bounce back instants or sorceries that I've already played. It's just it's a great kind of, let me redo this, you know, and it bails you out of some misplays. This one I'm not going to run through because there's so many points to it. Excellence Binding, just kind of a great, let me stop your Carnage Tyrant or your really big creature. The Eldest Reborn, I'm pretty sure most of you are coming from Arena. You've seen this card, we know this card, we hate this card. It is, when you're playing Esper Control, it is a good Carnage Tyrant killer. It deals with hexproof guys, Planeswalkers, they only got one. it's a good control, and plus pulling something back from anybody's graveyard is really good in a control setup. Profane Procession, I've kind of just thrown this in as a kind of, you know, I'm going to fill up my sideboard. I needed one more card, and then behold, it's bailed me out so many times. It's a 3-drop that kind of just sits there for a couple turns. Once you get it up to a 5, you get to exile target creature. Then if there are 3 more cards exiled this way, transform it. And when you flip it, you get to play your opponent's cards. Very, very great when you need to really slow down your opponent. And they're not, you know, they're not playing a lot of spells. They're more creature heavy. You can start chipping away at their creatures without actually killing them. Thus, you can bring them back to the battlefield and use them for your own. Thief of Sanity, beautiful card, seeing a lot of play right now in Arena. In the Esper mid-range, we all know what it does. You attack your opponent, exile the 3, play 1, yada yada yada. The Unmoored Ego, again, I like to run 2 just to have that extra backup. Settle the Wreckage is great when you're playing extremely creature-heavy decks and they're going wide. Pulling this out of your sideboard, especially with Mastermind, it's a day ruiner for them. And it can really swing the game back in your favor. Dovin's Acuity. Honestly, I just wanted to put it in here. There's no rhyme or reason. It's fun against mono red. It's irritating. And yeah, there's no real rhyme or reason. It's honestly just for me to get a good laugh. Back to seriousness. Hostage Taker, again, creature-heavy decks can be a nightmare, especially with low costing creatures. So even having Hostage Taker when they build up to something bigger is always nice to have. Same with Cleansing Nova. Destroy all creatures, destroy all artifacts and enchantments. This is one that a lot of people were surprised to see that I have in here. It's not a sought-after card, but it's destroy all creatures with toughness 4 or greater. I like to have it in my sideboard for just pulling out with Mastermind. That way, I can wipe the board of anything 4 or greater and just try and keep those low creatures at bay for Cry of the Carnarium. But this really cleans up big, heavy hitters. And then I have 2 copies of Deputy of Detention, again, just to slow my opponent down. And you know what? It's an exile with a body, so if you want to, you can chip away for 1 damage. So that's mainly what I wanted to show you guys, was mainly my sideboard, because my Esper Control deck itself is kind of the basics as you would see. Later on, I'm likely down the road going to be doing more videos like this as well, including Arena, and I would like to start doing also like a history as we talk about certain planeswalkers and certain cards, like cards that got reprinted multiple times, planeswalkers that have seen a lot of reprint, a lot of play over time. I'd even like to do a history alone of planeswalkers. Planeswalkers were a huge part of Magic that really got me into it when I first started getting interested into Magic. So that is just something I'd like to go down the road and really dive into with you guys. Might maybe do a series. The next deck we will go through next time, as I'll just put those away. We'll tuck those back there, and that'll be mono red. Are you shocked it's in a red box? Where else would it be? Anyways, thank you guys. I'm Tap for Mana, and I'll see you on the next video.